Good afternoon, everyone. We still have a few people trying to get logged on, so we'll give them a minute or two and then we'll get started. All right, it looks like everyone is logged in, so we'll go ahead and get started. So thanks for joining us for the August LegFi webinar. My name is Amanda, and today I'll be going over how to have back-to-school success with LegFi. Hannah is also joining me, and she will answer any questions you may have throughout the webinar. And I can also go over some of those at the end of the webinar as well. So if you will, please go ahead and introduce yourself in that question chat so we can make sure that's working correctly. Just tell us your name and what organization you're with so we can make sure that we're seeing those. And as you're doing that, I'm going to go over the agenda. So I'll tell you a little bit about who LegFi is. We'll look up how to, we'll also go over how to update your member roster. We'll look up how to set up fall billing and going over LegFi with Treasury, how to set up an account, and then how to set up Treasury cards. And then we'll look at the various ways to communicate with members. OmegaFi hosts and supports LegFi. For more than 30 years, OmegaFi has provided technology solutions to help customers manage their finances, streamline their operations, recruit new members, and communicate with their members. We are based out of Columbus, Georgia, and we securely process more than 1.1 million per day for our clients and have securely processed more than 4 billion since 1992. We're also deeply committed to serving, promoting, and advancing the fraternity and sorority experience. We're passionate about what we do, and it's this passion that has encouraged our clients to trust us to do the heavy lifting so they can focus on their mission and having fun. So now I'm going to switch over to LegFi, so give me just a moment. All right, so when you get logged into LegFi, this is what you're going to see. Depending on like the kind of admin access you have, if you have access to every single module within LegFi, you'll see all of these. If there are some modules that you do not have access to, those will not appear here. On the dashboard, it shows you up at the top, like the total outstanding, and then anything that's past due, current, and anything that that's going to be billed in the future. If the chapters are connected to a national headquarters and their national headquarters is billing them, they will see the invoice. If they have an invoice out here to pay, they will see that here and they'll be able to come out and pay that. And they can also look at the history of any payments that they've done in the past. You can also look at any cash flow over the past 12 months or 6 months. And then you can also navigate with these arrows if you want to look at the past 12 months, anything in the future as well. You can look at invoice versus paid. So you can see anything here. If you click on the bar, it'll show you what was invoiced and then what was collected in that month, and then what's going to be invoiced in the future as well. And then any member payments that have come in, you can see that here as well. And if you're looking for a particular member payment, you can come here and search for that. And any accounts that are set up under your organization will show here as well. And then down here it shows you the total number of members that you have. So moving on, I want to show you under the gear icon. This is where you will go and set up your billing information. You can check first, you can check to make sure that the mailing address is correct. You can also upload like your organization logo here, and that will show on the dashboard. It will pull up and it will show right here. And then under the billing settings, this shows you like how much your subscription is per month, and then also what your default payment method is. And that default payment method is to pay for your subscription, as well as if you are paying for invoices from your national headquarters. And then any payments that have been made for your subscription, that will show here as well. So moving on to the members module, this is where you will keep your roster up to date. To add members, you'll come here to click Add Members. And then you can upload members using this sample file, or you can add members individually if you would like to do that. If a member needs to have a parent attached to their account so that they can see copies of invoices that are emailed out, under this auxiliary emails, they can add that parent email address here. And when invoices are sent out, they will be copied on those emails as well. If a member graduates and they need to be moved to alumni or alumnus, you would do that by clicking on, you can do it individually over here by clicking on these three dots, and then you can click edit, or if you have several members that need to be updated, you can click on them and then come up here to actions and then edit, and then you will change the member to the member type that they are. If you are updating members to alumnus, once they are updated, you will need to email info@legfi.com with the list of members that have been changed to alumnus so that they can be archived. Your subscription payment or your monthly subscription is based on how many members are in your organization. So you want to make sure that you update that monthly so that you're getting charged the correct amount. You can also come here and manage groups. You can, so for groups, you can add different, what we call billing groups. If there's seniors and you want all of the seniors to be in this group, you can click here, edit, and then add in the seniors. If you have members that are on a payment plan, you can create that. Or if you have members that are going to pay in full, you can create that kind of group. And that will just help you when you are billing your members. It will help you select them correctly, and that way you don't have to go in and individually click those members. They're already in that group for you to pick from. Also, for member types, you can edit this as well. So if your new members are called initiates and your members are called actives, you can come here and edit that and update those member types. And then you can also add those members to these member types. And then once you update your member type, when you go to add members, you can under the sample file, there's a member type, so you can automatically put that in the spreadsheet and they'll upload under that member type. You won't have to go in and add them. Now, I want to look at like individual members. You can dive into like their profile if you need to see more information. So we'll look here. You can see if they have a phone number on file. If you need to add a phone number, you can do that from here. From actions, you can edit the user. So you can add, if they need to add a parent email address or update their mailing address, they can do this when they log into LegFi. They will have access just to their information, not the chapter information. Or if you want to, if they gave you an updated information, you can update it for them. If they're logging in as a user, they under this amounts owed, it will show make a payment. But for you, if you're an admin, it will show you can record a payment if they paid through like locally, or you can add a new charge. Say they purchased, it's not like on the scheduled charges that you'll create under invoices and you need to just charge them for t-shirts or something like that. You can do that from here as well. You can look at their aging report and it will show you anything that's going to be charged in the future, anything that's past due, any payments that have been received as well. And then this breaks it down even more. So any outstanding, these are all the outstanding charges. These are future charges. And then you can look at their account history. So it will show you charges that have been created and then payments that have been received. You can also export this information into a CSV file. And then you can break it down by just looking at all charges or just looking at all payments. If they're a part of a group, it will show here. And then if they have any admin rights, you can see that here. If you need to give them admin permissions, you can do that here as well. And if there are any contracts that they've signed and you've uploaded, that will show here, and then any communications. So that's if you need to dig into like a member profile. All of these things are also available here as well under each module. So let's move on to invoices. So here you can view what invoices are current, past due, etc. You can see what's been invoiced and collected over the past 12 months or 6 months. It's the same as on the dashboard, so you can toggle between 12 months and 6 months and then scroll with these arrows to see any information that you'd like to see. And then here, this also breaks down outstanding, everything under invoices, and then any invoices that may have been deleted. To create an invoice, you'll come up here and click on Create New Invoice. And then you'll select the members who need to be invoiced. And this is where those groups come into play. So we'll say we're going to do the group with the fall semester where they're going to pay everything in full. So we're going to add all of these members. And then once we've added them, we'll come down here to add charge. And then we'll go from there. So the charge title, we'll just put fall chapter dues. Or if you have a previous previous charges, you can choose and copy from that. You can choose if it's a one-time charge or recurring charge. Since these are where they're going to pay all in full, we would only do one-time charge. But if it is a recurring charge, You can choose how many cycles you want to do, and it will, for each cycle, it will add up. So if it's $200 per cycle, so if you do 4 cycles, that'll be $800. So just keep that in mind. So, but we're going to do one-time charge, and it's going to be $500. And then under the deposit financial account, this is where you will choose, when members make the payment, where that money is going to be deposited. So we'll get to financial accounts in just a moment. But under treasury accounts, you can open as many treasury accounts as you would like, and then you can have that money be deposited into the account that you want. So for this, we'll choose the chapter operating account, but if you have a house and you want to send out an invoice for rent, you could put it in the housing account. Or if you wanted to open up a treasury account for events, you can send out invoices for events and then make sure that that money is deposited into the events account. You can name them however you would like. So we're going to choose the chapter operating account and then the revenue category. So we'll just choose member dues, and then you can update the revenue categories under budget. You can add as many as you need to, or update and edit the ones that are currently existing. So the active date, we'll just keep it as today, and then we'll do the due date as September 15th. And then if you want to have a late fee, you would put that amount and then the date that it needs to be paid by. And if you're offering an early payment discount, so if they pay before September 15th, and you want to give them $20 off, you would put in the amount $20 if paid in full by September 14th, so that they get that discount. So then we'll click on Save Charge. And then under Message, you can add a message. And then once you're done, you can preview the invoice and make sure that it looks correct. If you need to bill these members for something different, if you need to also do charges for rent, you can also add a new charge for that as well. And then you would select the treasury account for housing. So once you get done creating your invoices, then you'll send the invoices. And it takes a moment for them to process. Once that green flyer goes away, then it shows that they have been processed. We do send out statements. So since this is the due date of the 21st, statements will be sent out tomorrow. And then going forward, statements will be sent out on the 3rd and 15th of every month, to remind, if they have a balance, to remind them that they have a balance. So now we're going to look at payments. Here you can look at any payments that have come in that members have made through LegFi, and you can also record payments as well. So any payments that have come in will be located here. You can search, you can do advanced filters to narrow things down if you want. Then if you need to record a payment, you can come here and search for the member and then record that amount. And then if it's like a check, and then you can add multiple payments. So if you have another member that made a payment, you can do that as well. And then once you submit the payments, you'll see here you've recorded, and once it's updated, it will be removed. So you can also export payments from this page as well if you needed to download a report for that. Now we'll move on to financial accounts. This is where if you have an external bank account, you can come out here and add that external bank account and link that to your LegFi account, or you can open up treasury accounts. One of the things that you'll be required to do is to go through the Know Your Customer uh, identity verification. That's required for if you add an external bank account and if you add a treasury account. That's part of our payment processor, Stripe. They have to have that information just to verify your identity. So first, I'm going to show you how you add a treasury account. So you'll come here to add treasury account, and then you'll look through the terms and conditions. And once you've read through those and agree to them, you'll click the buttons that say that you agree with everything, and then you'll click on submit. It takes a moment for it to take you to where you put in your information. You'll need to provide your name, contact, and identifying information and organization information to complete the form. If Stripe's automated system is unable to verify your identity, you may be asked to provide additional identification, such as a driver's license, to finish the process. So from here, you would go in, you'll put in your mobile number, your email address. It will send you a code to verify your number. And then once you put in that code, you'll go in and you'll put in all of your information. So your name, your address, and as I said earlier, sometimes it will ask you to upload a driver's license. Once you do that, it will show here under the verification. As long as they have everything that they need, it will be verified. If not, it will show information required, and usually that's just asking for a picture of your driver's license. Once you do that and your identity is verified, then you'll get this green check mark and it will show that your account has been verified. If you need to transfer funds between treasury accounts, or if you need to transfer funds from a treasury account to an external bank account, or if you need to transfer funds from a treasury account to a treasury card, you can do all that through this button, this fund transfers button. And you'll just click on add fund transfer, and then you'll choose the account it's transferring from and then to, the amount, and any notes. If you're transferring from one treasury account to another treasury account, or from a treasury account to a treasury card, it's instant. If you're transferring from a treasury account to an external bank account, it takes 3 to 5 business days. So now I'm going to show you how to open a treasury account. So under these ellipses, you'll go to treasury cards, and then you'll click on add card holder. If you are opening up a card for yourself, then you'll be able to put in the card holder information and all of that. But if you are opening a treasury card for another member or another admin, they will receive an email and they will need to fill out the card holder information. So you can open up treasury cards for members if they're like on the event committee or something like that and they need money to go purchase things. You can open a card for them and give them a set budget and then close it if you need to do that. So let me walk you through that process. I'm logged in as Lady, so we're gonna choose her. And then you can choose the card type, which is physical or virtual. Virtual cards are, as soon as everything is confirmed, it's instant. You can add it to your Google Pay or Samsung Pay, Apple Pay. If it's physical, it takes 5 to 10 business days for them to be received. So we'll do virtual. And then under the spending limit, this is where you can go in and choose like your intervals. So if it's like an officer and they need to have a daily spending limit of $100 or a weekly spending limit of $500, or if it's someone that's on a committee and they just need $50 or $100 to go purchase items, you can change that interval to all time and then change the spending limit as well, or even monthly or yearly. However your budget looks, you can break it down how you need to. So once you've chosen that information, you'll click on Done, agree to the terms and agreements, and then click on Next. You'll review everything to make sure it's all correct, and then click on Submit. And then from here, it'll take you back and it will show you it's pending cardholder data. So if this is you, then you can go in and from here add the cardholder information. If you're opening up an account for someone else, they will receive an email and they'll go in from that email and add their information. So we'll put in information here and then click continue, make sure that everything looks correct and submit. And then we can go back to the treasure cards and it will show you that it's active. So if this person was only supposed to have a certain amount and you need to come in and close their card because they've done what they need to do, you'll come here to this ellipses and you can close it. You can also suspend a card. With suspended cards, you can reactivate them. If you close a card, they cannot be reactivated. So you want to make sure that you do need to close it. If this person helps with other events or things like that, you can suspend it until they need to use that card again. If a card is lost or stolen or damaged, you can come here and update that or report that, excuse me. And then under the view edit, this is where you can go to update like their spending limits as well. Okay, now I'm going to show you what transactions look like, but I'm going to have to show you that through PowerPoint because that is a test account and we don't have transactions on that account. So under the chapter account, the treasury account, it will show you all of the transactions there. And then if you want to actually view a transaction, you'll click on view and it will show you like the amount. So these are all of the transactions that occurred under the chapter account on this date. There's April 11th, the 10th, and then the 9th. If there's a transaction that looks suspicious, or if all of these, you say, I didn't go to the masters, these are not me, you can click into that transaction and then click on dispute. One of the things that I want to note is that if you dispute a transaction, make sure that you're at least 99% sure you're going to win, because for every dispute that is lost, you will receive a $25 fee. So just make sure that you know that that is an actual transaction that you did not make. If you want to see all of the disputes, you'll click here on disputes. It can show you all of the disputes, and then if you want to break it down by disputes that are won or lost, you can click on either one of those and it will show you, it will break it down for you. Okay, now the last thing I want to go over is the communications menu. There is a many ways that you can communicate with your members. We have where you can text members. So if members have their phone numbers on hand, you can filter by group. So, we just sent invoices for fall semester pay in full, so we're going to send them a text message. Um, and then you send the message, and that will go through. These members don't have phone numbers, so I'm not going to send it, but that's how that works. So you can do it for all members, or if there's an event coming up and you want to remind members what time it starts, you can do that. You can also email members. So if you need to send an email to let people know that invoices just went out, or there's an event coming up, or if you have like an invite for an event or a flyer, you can upload a file and send that email to all members or certain members. You can do that from here as well. You can create surveys, and then when members come in and log into their LegFi account, those surveys will appear and you will receive the answers back. It will show here. So if you come in and you create a new survey, those answers will show up under the survey that you created. And then any communications, I showed you under like individual members, but this will show you like all members. So like the treasury card holder request, an email was sent. If it was an invoice, it shows you when it was processed. And then if there's a text message or anything like that, it will show under this communications log. If I mentioned earlier that we send e-statements on the 3rd and 15th of every month, but if someone says that they didn't receive it, you can come out here and resend that. Or if it's a member and they're just not, they're still not making payments and you want to send them a paper statement, you can come out here and request that. Paper statements will be mailed within 2 business days. Okay. That is everything that I have to go over today. Hannah, were there any questions?
As of now, there aren't any that came through, but we can give them a second if anyone wants to put one in.
Sure. If anyone has any questions, you can drop that in the chat and we'll be happy to answer those. And if you don't have any questions, you can always email us, or if you're looking for something, if you think of something after, under the in LegFi, under the question mark, we have our help center here that you can search for anything, any videos, webinars. This webinar will be emailed to you, as well as it will be uploaded to our help center and our YouTube channel if you need to view it at a later time.
Amanda, there was one quick question. People were wondering if they could add like contacts to their account, or how they would do that. Would they still have to pay for those users if it's just going to be like an advisor on the account, or how would that work?
So that needs to be attached to like your headquarters, so you don't have to pay for that. So your chapter does not have to pay for that. Hold on, let me see if I can show you. So your national headquarters would need to go in under their account and then add that a contact. So you would need to email them to add them, and then they would have access to your chapter.
Okay, it looks like that answered their question. Thank you, Amanda.
You're welcome. All right, well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Again, you'll be emailed the recording of this, and if you think of any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us, and we'll be happy to help. Have a great afternoon, everyone.